For this review, I'm going to try a different style where it won't be split into the gameplay and decoration categories. I'm trying this because, to be frank, the gameplay of a level can contribute to the decoration of a level significantly, and especially for BoomSlayer, this can't be ignored. In early November last year, the Geometry Dash community witnessed one of the best mega collabs that the game has ever seen. Castlemania explored the concept of a multi-rooted level and executed it perfectly. Many people, including myself, believed that it would take a very long time for Castlemania to be topped. But here we are, just over 4 months later, AmorAltra, BoomKitty, and a whole bunch of the game's best art creators all came together to create BoomSlayer. A hell level that is inspired by the game Doom, and get this, it actually looks good. Similarly to Castlemania, the level takes a concept that basically no one does, and seriously delivers. BoomSlayer starts off with the longest part in the entire level, built by AmorAltra. The level by many is seen as a loose sequel to PP, so the decision made by Amor to build his part with the setting of PP in mind creates an immediate link between the two levels. As the song builds up, the city becomes more hellish, with otherworldly creatures beginning to replace doorways and block designs. This build of atmosphere allows the level to immediately develop a sense of progression, which is very rare to see in the mega collabs that dominate the server today. After an elevator ride to the top of the city, the level throws the player out into Dav JT's part. As with basically anything that Dav makes, this part looks stunning, encapsulating that same hellish city atmosphere that AmorAltra's part established through the collapsed buildings in the background, the bloody brick designs, and the mist that covers the level. The attention to detail in this part is incredible, especially in regards to the eyes that follow the player, the blurred crosses in the foreground, and the skulls that fill the gaps between the structures. Both of these details signify a specific time period that the level is set in, where it is now known that BoomSlayer could be set in an almost post-apocalyptic world where Earth and humanity is on the brink of collapse. This theming, along with the song and overall decoration, is what makes the level feel so special to me. Apart from Blue Skies follows Dav JT, and to my surprise he executes the theme of the level perfectly and even manages to match the quality of his part to those of the veteran creators in the collab, despite his lack of experience in art creating. This part has many similarities to Dav's part, mainly consisting of a crumbling city with a hellish mist in the background, now with floating islands and other otherworldly things present. This flow between Dav and Blue Skies demonstrates not only great hosting from AmorAltra, but also incredible progression between parts to develop the already impeccable atmosphere. After a hand grabs and pulls the player into a hellish portal, 4 completely different parts fly past, created by SPKL and King Tony, Grax, Subwoofer, and Knots respectively. Despite the length of the parts being significantly shorter than the rest of the parts in the level, the parts are some of the most difficult parts in the level, making these variety of gameplay and decoration in these parts, in association with the speed and the song, keep the player on their toes, also foreshadowing the impending boss fight to come. All 4 parts depict the player running through literal hell. SPKL and King Tony's part starts as a great introduction into hell, with fleshy block designs and backgrounds being used to illustrate the red and bloody nature of hell. The following hyper-intense part by Grax depicts a landscape of hell with lava falls littering the background with devil-like creatures flying by. A platform that the player lands on, falls, and transitions into Subwoofer's part. Personally, I'm not a fan of Subwoofer as a creator, but in this case the man really popped off. The colors and animations of the lava below are stunning, and the attention to detail in the background, such as the throne, really brings the part together. Another hyper-intense part follows this in the form of Knots, where the grandness of hell is demonstrated through statues and lasers, whilst also sticking to the fleshy theme of hell. Once these 4 parts get consistent, this section quickly becomes the most enjoyable section of the level, just because of the cohesion with the song alone. A portal at the end of Knots teleports the player out of hell into a lab part created by J-Ghost. Similarly to Subwoofer, I'm personally not a huge fan of J-Ghost's creating style, however he completely popped off in this part, making it one of my favourite parts in the entire level. The attention to detail in the block designs really enhances the lab feeling of the part, and the hellish details towards the ending of the part also show that the world around is still being overrun, and the last chance of hope is now being invaded by otherworldly beings. Now, even though I said this was my favourite part, there is one major issue with the part that can be seen by the Among Us reference right here, so all of my statements about the part have been completely retracted. Following J-Ghost's lab part, you enter a darker section of the lab made by Space Dust. Space Dust is a creator that I only first heard about in this collab, and oh boy did he deliver. The parallax effect in the first section of his part, followed by the sick rotating transition into a room with a big fan, is all so smooth and really sets the scale of the future parts. The linkage between J-Ghost and Space Dust part is also very much present by the damage that has likely occurred from the invaders. Now we arrive at the boss fight made by H-Hyper and Scorch VX. I think it's best just to let the part speak for itself, because the reality is it's the best looking boss fight by a landslide. Following the main section of the boss fight, the player arrives at my personal favourite part in the entire level. Hard made quite possibly in my eyes the best creation that has ever graced this game. The movements of the boss fight and the background and foreground decoration is all perfect for the ultimate climax and ending of the level. I simply cannot put into detailed words how good this part is. Finally, Maddie comes in with the true final part with the stellar animation that makes Boom Slayer the level it is today. Again, these final 3 parts all together are just jaw-dropping, with no amount of words being able to give them justice. To finish up, I want to talk about the song. Not only did BoomKitty create a song that was made specifically for the level like he did with PP, but he also added extra sound effects to the song which matched the level. The sound effects, some more obvious than others, add so many layers of immersion to the level that it makes it more of an experience rather than a level. Personally, the sound effects are best used from the boss fight to the ending, from the slams of the boss fight to the lasers of the final chase. Everything is perfect. AmorAltra, BoomKitty and everyone else who worked on the project, this is the near perfect mega collab, and even though many of us thought Castlemania couldn't be topped, here we are. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the future.